Hey everyone, it might be more interesting to start this video off talking about how hard and difficult our adventure was. It was pretty cold, but it was spectacular. The scenery in the South Temple Valley, which is inland from Lake Ohau, was pretty amazing. We spent the night at a 6-bed Department of Conservation hut with no power or water in the middle of the mountains. It's made more memorable because all the normal things of life are pushed to the side, and the day's priorities are very basic: keeping warm, your food, your water, and your shelter. And then, well, we better get to the beginning of this adventure because we've already probably said too much. This morning we are packing up our packs which we got out of the truck. They haven't even been used since they've been on the road. But we are heading into the mountains and we're going to go for an overnight hike. So let's get ready to go on a bit of an adventure.
We're making a big lunch to take on the walk. Yeah, the other one.
Better take the old airline bag off from North Carolina back to Auckland. That was almost a year ago now. Let's get ready to go. It's a pretty beautiful blue sky day. It's going to be so cool up there. Can't wait. If you're new here, our family has been travelling full time in our caravan since September last year. It's a nice little break to get away from the caravan and head into the mountains. We've made it about halfway, but the reflection on these lakes is incredible. This is Lake Middleton. Look how beautiful that is. And down below there is the Round Hill Dock Campground, which we camped at a couple of weeks earlier. I'll put the link at the top there. When we arrived, we encountered a bit of a problem. The South Temple hut has only 6 beds, and we need 5 of those for our family. With 4 cars in the car park, if they've all headed to the same spot as us, someone is sleeping, or some people are sleeping on the floor or outside in below freezing temperatures. This is something we didn't want to gamble with, as these huts are first in, first served. But we met a dad and his son who said only one person was headed in the same direction as us. 6 beds, 6 people, should be perfect. We all decided to take our shoes off for the first river crossing, as there wasn't supposed to be another river crossing until the end of the hike.
All we have to do is run, say the word and we'll be gone on this road together. And one, today to become one. We don't have to go alone on this road together. The choices we make in the road that we take are the sum of what makes us new. Darling, I swear I will always remember that my life's adventure is you. So we run, all we have to do.
After a very easy and stunning walk in, we reached our first little hurdle, this fast flowing stream that runs down into the main river. And then Soph, who has had 2 knee surgeries, she really wants to make sure that she never needs another one. She got across being very cautious, as her whole family instructed her. And from here on in to almost the hut, we had a lot of muddy, swampy sections to get through. We had to give up on trying to keep our feet dry on this part.
Well, who stepped in there?
So the mountain's been putting us in the shade for a long time now, We're trying to find somewhere that's a bit warmer to stop and have some lunch. We are 4.75 kilometers in, so I think it's a bit longer than 7.5 k's because on the map it shows we're only about halfway. You can see the sunlight on the hill here.
It appeared the sun wasn't coming out anytime soon, and in fact it wasn't going to shine here again today, if it had at all. A quick lunch stop, and then we continued on our way towards the hut, as we knew we had firewood together when we would arrive to keep warm that night.
That is one big scree pile.
We've shared dreams under open skies. We've loved far and we've traveled wide. But the best is yet to come.
Nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's still frosty out here. But man, these mountains are so impressive. We've come out into another bit of a clearing. I don't think we're too far from the hut.
And the best is yet to come. We've waited long enough by now.
The people that we were talking to in the car park said there's no sign or point of where to cross the river to get to the hut. And they walked right past it and spent the night in a tent. So that would have been pretty rough. They were hoping to get to the hut, but they couldn't find it. They walked a lot further up the valley. But there is this sign here, and this is the sign of where to cross. Just in case you watched this video and thought you might like to come up here as well. There's the hut up there.
This river was pretty icy. I guess it's nice that it's at the end of the hike so you don't have to keep slogging through with wet shoes and cold feet. The river's also pretty fast, so the kids needed a little bit of help and support to get across.
Oh, my feet are freezing. I don't think I'll be looking forward to doing that fresh in the morning tomorrow. Cool, well what a hike. Now we can go and get set up in the hut. Meet this other guy, probably gonna ruin his day.
And then into the hut, the kids' excitement got pretty high as the hard work of all the walking was done.
Cool, well there's the beds. 2 side bunks and then a big flat one. Getting the fire going so we can be nice and warm. This thing's gonna heat this hut up so good. The old smoky fire, a good beacon for anyone coming this way. There's an axe here, so I'm gonna go cut up some wood before it starts getting too cold and too dark.
If you're watching from overseas, we're very lucky in New Zealand that we have all these backcountry huts for hikers to explore and come out into nature, and we can find some shelter, a bed and a fire to spend a night off-grid in the middle of the mountains. It's always good hut etiquette to leave more firewood for the next trampers in case things are wet. Having some dry firewood can really make a difference. It's also important to try to get wood that has not been laying around on the ground, as it will be holding a lot of moisture and will be difficult to burn.
Second time in the hut.
Yeah, it's like good. Are you in your sleeping bag?
Toby's tired.
I am. It was freezing on the way here. Look at Toby. I can't stop me.
Toby was definitely in his happy place in this hut, hanging out together.
Leave alone. Really good, a really good time.
We had a pretty basic dinner since we were only away for one night. Some nice creamy pasta for those of us that aren't dairy free, and Soph and Riley had some noodles and tuna.
I'll probably fall off. She's asleep, Dad.
Did it work?
She's asleep. It worked. Toby to the rescue.
After some of the excitement finally wore down, it was time for some sleep.
It's actually 20 past 10 in the morning, so you can see the sun's kind of slowly making its way down into the valley. I don't know if it shines here.
Worst part of the trek is first. Oh, this is so cold.
Jade's choosing to cross the river in bare feet this time to keep her gum boots dry and her feet dry. Pretty frosty out though.
This morning the river was looking very, very cold. Throw Jade's gumboots over to the other side and get her across first so that way she could get some warmth into her feet. The river was so cold it was almost like a burning sensation on your feet. I had told the kids, I was like, make sure you're not making me stand in there any longer than I need to. I was like, you need to be ready to be walking across when the next person's just about over the other side.
That was definitely a lot colder than yesterday. I think all of our feet are pretty freezing. Best thing to do is get moving, I think. Jade, how are you feeling?
I can't feel my toes.
How are your feet, girl?
Freezing.
Oh, there's that sun. It's been a while since we've seen it. Or felt it anyway. Me and Toby got pretty far ahead, so we're making some noodles for everyone.
And then we could finally see the truck and our hike was almost done and the kids picked up their pace and ran to the truck.
Oh, it's always such a good feeling getting the old pack off. Oh, I feel so light. Why do you get that?
Because we did a tramp.
It's a pretty cool hike. Pretty proud of the kids for sticking at it despite the freezing cold river crossings. But beautiful forest, beautiful scenery, nice warm hut. Thanks, Mike.
We climbed mountains
And after that big walk, this is what's for dinner.
Alright, well, if you've made it this far through the video, thanks for watching. Next episode we will be camping at Old Aki Mount Cook at the White Horse Hill campground where we had 4 beautiful days and some really cold temperatures, but we'll see you in the next episode.